Today's daily truth comes from a probably what would be considered a painful place, but one of powerful clarity. Charlie Kirk said right before his death, God works all things together for good for those who love him. Romans 8:28. And I'm going to show you the clip that has been uncovered from some setting, business setting. I'm not sure where he was earlier in the morning before he went to the school where everything happened that day. So even knowing danger and uncertainty is real in his line of work, especially for who he was, he spoke of hope. He believed in a purpose beyond the moment. And I think all of us can see what has transpired in the days since his death and the revival for God, the revival for Jesus, the revival for values. We've seen very ugly things, no doubt about that. I realize I haven't checked the audio. I got to check the audio here. Boo-doop, boop, boo-doop, boop. Oh, it's on the right one. Good. We saw some ugliness this weekend, obviously. But in the end, what we see is a growing set of people that are changing their lives and getting closer to God in Charlie Kirk's death. And I'm not going to say this in a sense like, well, look at in comparing Kirk to Jesus, obviously not vastly different, but as a martyr for Christianity, the revival that is happening right now in churches across the country, on social media, on the positive side, the evil side, we know who the enemy is at this point. They've made it very clear, and they are large, very, very large. When you've got certain people getting 100,000 likes on posts mocking Charlie Kirk's death, we know who the evil is. But at the same token, the positive side is how beautiful and strong the other side is. So, all right, I'm going to get into it in a second. I'm back in the lab, back in the office. I see a lot of people watching. I see Casey in there, so I'm assuming he shared on X. Thank you, buddy. So I will get into this, and I want to play the video of Charlie Kirk that day. It's only 20 seconds long, but it was the morning, and he talked about Romans 8:28, and I think it's powerful. My voice is still here. I'm shocked. I've got a webinar tonight for Double Down Speaking. Your story is your superpower, your secret weapon, whatever you want to call it. And we have like 20 people signed up or more, actually, which is great. I hope to see you guys there. It is a free webinar. All you got to do is go to getbetteratspeaking.com. Pick your night. If you can't make it tonight, I think I've got one scheduled for in a couple weeks too. I was wondering back. I have no idea how my voice is still here. I yelled Northwestern, we had some rain, which allowed me to not have to yell for about an hour and a half. I think that helped. So I only did kind of like a really, really extensive 2.5 hours that day. And then the NFL was very different. Their clips for Fox are like every 3 minutes. So it was very different is all I could say. But I'm still here, still breathing, and still have a voice, which is wild to me because I did not expect me to sound this good today. So I'll be looking forward to the webinar tonight. I sound a little hoarse, a little sexier. Hey, I do what I can. Go ahead and put some comments in the box. What made you smile today? And I'm going to tell you what made me smile today through all the difficulties that's going on between Charlie Kirk, between my personal life, between work and all the different stuff is seeing that one clip where Charlie Kirk's account posted something about, revival or church or Christianity, whatever it was, and the comments below it on how many people went to church for the first time in a decade, first time in 5 years. People, atheists saying, I didn't know who Charlie Kirk was until I started watching these videos, and he's made me a different person. If I could have a fraction of that impact on people when I leave this earth, if any of us can, then everything is worth it, even in the horrific nature. So make your life worth it. That's my goal for you guys. Please register for that speaking class. If you want to learn more about the workshops, we do have a free trial. This week I will be out, but we do have Henry doing it, and that'll be at doubledownspeaking.com. All the other stuff that I talk about, Make Wellness, BioPrecision Peptides, Obligatory Flex, go to my Instagram at Anthony Michael Russo. That's all there. Soon I'll be adding a shampoo line. Firmaglow will be coming as some of the affiliates that I'll be doing. So a lot of stuff going on there. The Yay Sports hats, by the way, incredibly popular at this last school. I'll be wearing those on most of my videos. So anyways, I think I'm getting a slight cold. It was raining and cold in Chicago. And then 90 degrees in Kansas City. Sweet mother of Pete, it got hot. Okay, let me get into today's truth to warm it up for you guys. If you weren't there in the beginning, the concept of today's daily truth comes from a place of clarity and with a little bit of pain, because the morning that Charlie Kirk passed away, he was giving a speech on a couch or doing like a conversation. And he talked about how his favorite Bible verse is Romans 8:28, and how fitting that is the day that he was assassinated, because it says, and as we're seeing what's playing out now, mind you, no riots, no fires, just candlelight vigils, prayer, singing Amazing Grace. It's amazing what one side does compared to the other. And as I think people have seen, it's re-engaged me as well, which maybe is very important. And I want to thank a lot of the people for the messages that has been sent directly to me regarding the power of my voice and the fact that I need to speak. So thank you. Think about the fact that I made a decision to try to shift, because people, and they're good people, they're great people, and there are people going through some of the same things I'm going through right now. If I'm trying to make God my CEO in my life, and I made the decision to and it's not, I've been actually talking more about Christianity, but at the same time talking about logic and truth. And part of the Bible is truth. And part of living our true, authentic self is to understand that if I'm worried about the finances behind what happens when I use my voice, and talking about the fact that using my voice for some political conversation has gotten me to the point where I've lost 6 figures in revenue in the last 5 years, even though some people have called me a grifter for talking about politics. God bless them. In all reality, it means it's a sign of me not having faith that God is going to use me in the right way. I've become more minimalist in what I do and what I spend my money on. Like, even though I love my Tesla, it's less than what my Kia was beforehand. So yeah, I'm being smart with things and understanding I don't need as much. I live in a single wide on Kelly's parents' land, and it's a really nice single wide, but it's a single wide. Just put a deck on, a temporary, I mean, it's a halfway decent deck. I don't care about that stuff anymore. So why do I care so much about the ones and zeros? God will provide. If I am living in my mission, God will provide. Sorry, that was a curveball. I went to the side. That wasn't today's plan. So even in knowing, and there's now people that have come out that have warned Charlie Kirk. I heard of a guy that was a security expert that worked for a big person saying, I told Charlie Kirk that there was a 100% chance that he would be assassinated if he didn't put plexiglass up. And the email never got replied to, or whatever it might be, or the call. So he knew what he was facing. So I want to play this clip real quick. Casey, I am smart with things. He says, do I need to remind you I use a Mac? This is a 5-year-old Mac, and it's still working. I can use a new one, though. But whatever. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put this up. Listen up.
My favorite verses, though, is Romans 8:28, which says that God works all things for good for those who love Him. It's a very freeing and liberating verse for those of us that are Christians, because we believe that when things can be really bad, God is working it for His good, His perfect and pleasing will, which is a very, very hard teaching when you come across business closures or staff layoffs. But it's very liberating that God is working all things towards an ultimate good. So I love that, and it kind of is very freeing that I don't have to be in charge of everything. And there is a God, and I'm not Him, and I surrender to His will. I appreciate that. My favorite verses, though.
That would be what I would consider to be a pretty prophetic verse to be talking about that morning, and to proclaim as his favorite verse. So what does this mean for us? It means that fear and tragedy don't get the final word, even in the darkest hour. And if anybody saw Erica Kirk's her speaking that night, which I'll be honest, the first couple minutes I was like, this is a little odd, like something feels weird about it. But then as she picked up, the last 20 minutes or the end of it was phenomenal, and essentially a call to arms. Like, I love people doing the "we ride at dawn" thing. Like, and it's not we ride at dawn to do bad things. We ride at dawn to speak in the name of God, in the name of Christ. We speak in the name of truth. We speak in the name of logic. We speak in the name even of science and truth, rooted in science. And asking questions. That's what science is asking questions, challenging the norm. So Anyways, what does this mean? Fear and tragedy don't get the final word. Even in the darkest hour, God is weaving something good for the pain. And I know how seemingly strong Erica, his wife, has been, but I'm sure she's going through stuff that we don't get to see, and what her children are going to be living with their whole entire life. But they're going to be living understanding that there is a revival in the streets, not just in America, but all over the world. Charlie didn't just quote Romans 8:28 for comfort. He lived its truth. And in the moment before what happened with fate that day, he could declare God's goodness even then. Clearly, so can we. I want to try to find, I have what is Romans 8:28? Where is it? Romans 8:28 is just to say it again. And we know that in all things, God works for those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. And seeing what happened to Charlie Kirk and having that as his scripture that morning, I think speaks volumes. It speaks volumes to the purpose as we see people, tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people in the street in other countries for Charlie Kirk. And then prayer vigils all over this country. Last night was, when I was traveling, it seemed like it was in every major city, including the cities that we believe are without God. And people were showing up and people were reviving their spirit. And the thing is, we have to keep that momentum. We have to keep that strength, because in the end, the evil will root itself out, or God will change their hearts. And if they don't, can't get them all. But we do the best we can by showing love. So today, when fear whispers to me, why me? How about we respond with, how can this make us stronger? And I think that that's what we're seeing. I feel like I don't need to tell you that. Don't wait for the perfect days to trust God. The promise isn't that the bad things won't come. It's that God will bring good things out of them. This doesn't just go for the situation with Charlie Kirk. This is in your life right now. This is in the pain of financial struggle. This is in the pain of relationship issues. This is in the pain of mental illness. This is in the pain of losing friends. This is in the pain of grief. This is in all of these things. That pain is unbearable in many cases without understanding that we have to trust God. Romans 8:28, Charlie Kirk's favorite verse, isn't just a verse. It is a lifeline. In loss, in grief, in discovery, it is always there. God is always there. God works all things together for good. Believe it, speak it, live for it. Even in your final hour, God is working for good. For the people around you, for your legacy, and for those that go, well, his life was cut too short. I agree. But his eternal life has just begun. And his legacy may live on further than any president, any king in recent history. That's what I got. That's what I got for you guys. So if you like this message, like it, share it, do all the things with it. I encourage you, if you have ever wanted to check out a speaking class, it is not interactive tonight. It is free. It is me just giving some tips and tricks on how to share your story. And I'm going to tell you, and how to use your voice. I'm going to tell you, it's not just about being a stage speaker. It is much more than that. It is how to communicate. It is how to break through limiting beliefs. And I hope that I can bring you a great message this evening. I believe as though I will. If you want to check it out for free, go to getbetteratspeaking.com. Again, that's getbetteratspeaking.com. Go to my Instagram at Anthony Michael Russo, and you'll see all the different links in my bio for stuff. I'm wearing the Be the Change shirt today. That's available in one of the clothing links. Use Truth for 20% off at checkout. Check out all the different things we do. Soon to come, a new hair care line, which is awesome, run by a patriotic believer called Firmaglow. Century H2O also on there. All the things are listed. Go check out my Instagram. The links are in bio. Aside from that, I will see you this evening. God bless you. Don't surrender your pets. Don't be a garbage human being. And with love, I will see you later.